Yeah, man. Whatever you like, it's T.I. with your Boodah Brothers Morning Show. When I say T.I. with your Boodah Brothers Morning Show, I mean just that, because he's in the studio with us right now. What up, homie?
Hey, what's happening?
What's the deal, brother? Welcome to the 757 VA, bro.
Man, always good to be back.
Man, you out here grinding right now. Things real busy for you. You got a lot. I mean, and when I say you have a lot popping off right now, I mean you got a lot popping off right now. You know what I'm saying? New CD, couple movies in the works going on right now. And I know on the home front, you just had a new little one.
Yeah.
You and Tiny, congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So
clothing line.
You got. Oh, tell me about your clothing line.
Clothing line is called the Cool King of Oneself. We'll be launching October, between October and November.
That's been in the works for. That's been in the works for a while.
Yeah,
because I know we had done a phone interview with a couple of years ago, and you had said that you were working on that because after you had showed up in some of them hot suits you was wearing in some of them award shows a while back. I wanted to know what was going on with you in the clothing line. This has got to be the most, I don't know what's the best word to describe it, seesaw year that you could possibly have. You had, of course, the drama with the guns. Then you've got the movies in the works. You got music in the works. You got a tour. You're going around speaking to kids around the country. What would be the best way for you to describe what you've been through over the past 2008 and late 2007?
What would be the best way to describe it?
Yeah.
A learning experience. I guess, a learning experience and a moment of growth. Yeah.
Well, I think first of all that considering everything that that you've been through, you weathered it well. You landed on your feet. A lot of people wouldn't have. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of people just would have collapsed under that type of pressure because for those of you who don't know, let's call it what it is. There for a minute, you were looking at 30 years, and fortunately that didn't happen. And it's what do they call it, a deferred sentence, because you're actually going to go in for a year in like March, right?
Yeah.
But meantime, I see you're preparing yourself for that. In terms of you're doing how many movies before then?
That's yet to be determined. I know I'm doing one. I'm doing one that I'm beginning in September, and I have another one that I have the possibility of doing. It just depends on how far along the script comes, between now and then, and what kind of scheduling they have, and how much time my schedule will permit me to do it.
Now the movie that you begin in September is the one co-starring Chris Brown. Of course, VA is real happy about that. That's called Bone Deep. And the synopsis of that is you're a group of guys who commit a bank robbery and you get caught, or what is the synopsis of that?
No, not really. It's about some young, fly, well-spoken, well-dressed, good-looking, intelligent, articulate bank robbers and we don't just, commit one bank robbery and get caught. It's a team. It's sort of like, let me see. It's sort of like, I guess you could say, Ocean's 11 meets Inside Man meets Heat. It's a different type of a group of criminals. It's kind of like guys who only do big jobs. And, you know what I'm saying? They plan their jobs for months at a time, and everything's down to the letter. They only pull X amount of jobs every 5-6 years. And, it's
Would you define it as more of a drama or more of an action? It's an action film.
Action and drama. Drama.
There's one thing that I wanted to ask you. I know you were on house arrest for a while. During that time, knowing that you've always been talented with a pen, you know what I'm saying, with your rhymes and lyrics. How did being on house arrest for that length of time affect your writing? Because you have a new project that you're hitting us with, so evidently it didn't slow you down that much. But did it affect you at all? Not actually being on the scene.
Well, to be quite honest with you, in a lot of ways, my situation inspired me. You know what I'm saying? It pushed me to make music, to be creative. It was an outlet in a lot of ways. Songs like No Matter What and What's Up, What's Happening were records that I wrote while, people were hating on me real heavy. So it was my response to them. They just couldn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? So when people was on the blogs, tearing me up, talking bad about me. You know,
how much did you read that stuff? Did you go online and read that type of information?
And same cats in there is so supportive now.
One thing I can say about you, T.I., is that you've had a remarkable amount of personal responsibility for your situation. A lot of people, you know, who get into a predicament like yours don't necessarily take responsibility for what went down. How important do you think that is when it came to showing the person that you really are to your fans and to the public?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, I'm a man, you know, and in being a man, I have imperfections, you know, and I ain't never claimed to be perfect. I ain't never claimed to be better than nobody else, except at rapping or fashion, perhaps. You know what I'm saying? And I just want people to know that, man. You know, I want people to know that just because you make mistakes and just because you have your situation, that don't really define your future. That don't dictate you. That don't dictate your like where you headed in life unless you let it. And you know, I think I'm just gonna lead by example. I'm gonna be more of a mover and a doer, rather than a talker and a complainer.
Yeah.
An excuse giver.
Now, speaking of
great advice right there. A lot of brothers need to heed that.
Speaking of leading by example, you've been doing a lot of talks to teenagers and kids around the country since the situation happened. We brought some young men in here this morning, and they were really excited about meeting you. They're from the Youth Military Cadets Academy in Norfolk. Got 4 young men over there. They all dressed up in the military fatigues. Gonna get a chance to let them get their little shots out and say hi to you. But I know you really have been focusing on teaching kids about, you know, anti-gangs and anti-violence and things of that nature.
Yeah, well, I want to hear some of the messages that you've been passing on to kids right now, because you are certainly one of the brothers that can hold these kids' attention and you know, and make them listen to what you have to say. And I think it's fantastic that you're delivering such a positive message. We're going to talk more about that in a few moments. You hanging out for a little while, right?
Absolutely.
That's what's up. All right, T.I. in the house with your Boodah Brothers Morning Show. It's 8:58. More to come. Hold tight.